In the quiet corners of the world where dawn paints the water in strokes of gold and silver, life follows ancient rhythms. Here, along the freshwater streams of eastern Australia, lives a creature of profound subtlety, a whisper of evolution. At first glance, the platypus feels like a mistake, a paradox given form. It is wrapped in a soft brown body, a coat of dense, waterproof fur so fine it traps a layer of air for insulation against the cold. It's a marvel of natural engineering, designed for a life spent between two worlds, the solid earth of the riverbank and the fluid embrace of the water. Then, there is the feature that defies all convention, a duck's bill. But it isn't hard or keratinous. It is soft, rubbery and pliable, covered in thousands of receptors that we are only just beginning to understand. It is not a beak for pecking, but an exquisite sensory organ. It has webbed feet, perfect for propulsion through the still water. Yet this webbing is not fixed. On land, it can be retracted, revealing strong claws designed for excavating the burrows that serve as its sanctuary. And a tail like a beaver's, broad and flat, acting as a rudder for steering, and a crucial storage depot for fat reserves, sustaining it through leaner times. When the first specimen arrived in Europe in the late 1700s, it was met with ridicule. Scientists, certain they were the victims of an elaborate prank, took scissors to the pelt, searching for the stitches. When early explorers sent sketches back home, people laughed. They thought it was a joke, a stitched-together creature meant to fool the eye, a taxidermist's fantasy. But nature does not deal in jokes. This animal is not an accident, but an answer to a question posed by this unique environment millions of years ago. The platypus was never trying to impress anyone. It was simply surviving. And in its survival, it achieved a state of perfection. Hidden along the quiet rivers of eastern Australia, the platypus moves through water like a thought slipping through the mind, barely noticed, easily forgotten. It doesn't roar or flash bright colors. It doesn't claim territory with sound. Its power lies in subtlety, in its near invisibility. It is a creature of the in-between spaces, between day and night, water and land, what is seen and what is sensed. To follow it is to enter a world of silence and shadow, and it is here, as it leaves the world of air and light behind, that its true genius is revealed. Beneath the surface, something remarkable happens. To truly understand the platypus, we must follow it where it goes, down into the quiet embrace of the river. The transition is a ritual, a deliberate letting go of one world to enter another. With a final gentle push, it slips beneath the surface, leaving the world of air and sound behind. As it descends, a sequence of surrender begins. First, it closes its eyes. The last glimmer of light from the world above is extinguished, and the animal willingly enters a state of total blindness. Then, it closes its ears. The subtle lapping of the river, the rustle of leaves on the bank, all of it fades into a profound, muffled silence. Finally, it closes its nose, sealing itself off completely from the familiar sensory world. Sight, hearing, and smell, the primary tools for survival for so many creatures on land, are methodically shut down, rendered useless in this submerged realm. It is now an animal adrift in the dark, suspended in a world without landmarks, without sound, without scent. It has let go of the senses most animals depend on for their very existence. This is not an act of deprivation, but an act of profound trust. A trust in a deeper, more ancient way of perceiving the world. In this sensory void, another faculty begins to awaken. The platypus becomes not a creature that sees, but a creature that feels. Instead of light, it reads the language of the river itself. Instead of sound, it listens to electricity. This remarkable bill, which appears so soft and pliable, is in fact a sophisticated sensory array, one of the most complex in the animal kingdom. It is covered in tens of thousands of receptors, a living network designed to detect the faintest of electrical fields. Every living thing generates a tiny electrical charge. The flick of a shrimp's tail, the burrowing of a worm, the simple contraction of a muscle. Each small movement made by prey sends out tiny, invisible signals, faint sparks of life in the cold, dark water. The platypus feels them through its bill, not as individual jolts, but as a rich, textured tapestry of information. It is mapping the riverbed in 3 dimensions, building a detailed picture of its environment without ever seeing it. In a world where sight fails, it has learned another way to know. There are other quiet secrets. The platypus lays eggs, yet nurses its young with milk, without nipples. The milk simply seeps through the skin, and the babies lap it from their mother's fur. No ceremony, no display, just care, offered quietly. The males carry venom in hidden spurs on their hind legs, not to hunt, not to show dominance, but as a last defense, a reminder that gentleness and strength often coexist. For millions of years, the platypus has remained almost unchanged. It lived while continents shifted, while species rose and disappeared, while climates warmed and cooled. And still, it swims. For millions of years, the platypus has drifted through time, a creature of quiet persistence, its world a gentle rhythm of water and earth. It has outlasted ice ages and epochs, a living testament to an ancient, unbroken lineage. But today, survival is no longer guaranteed. The timeless balance it depends upon has become terrifyingly fragile. The world is changing at a speed this ancient creature cannot comprehend. Riverbanks, once held firm by the roots of old-growth forests, now shrink and collapse, washed away by unnatural floods. The clear waters that were its hunting grounds now cloud with sediment and chemicals, blinding its extraordinary senses. The deep, resonant stillness of the bush is fractured by the roar of engines and the relentless noise of human expansion. The platypus doesn't adapt quickly to chaos. It never needed to. For millennia, its world was predictable, cyclical. Its entire way of life is built on a foundation of calm, on an intricate balance, on rivers that are allowed to remember how to be rivers. And perhaps that is what makes the platypus so profoundly moving. In its vulnerability, it holds up a mirror to our own world. It asks us to consider what is lost when progress becomes disconnected from consequence. It is not a creature built for conquest, for dominance, for bending the world to its will. It has no ambition to alter its environment, only to exist within it. It is built for harmony, a living embodiment of belonging. Its form, its senses, its very existence are woven into the fabric of the river. It is a part of the water, not merely a visitor to it. In its quiet diligence, it teaches us that survival doesn't always belong to the loudest, the fastest, or the most aggressive. It doesn't belong to those who shout for attention, but sometimes to those who listen closely, who move gently through the world, and who understand the profound wisdom in knowing when to disappear beneath the surface. It is a lesson in subtlety, in patience, in the power of quiet observation. When we stand by a river at dusk, hoping for a glimpse of this elusive creature, we are participating in an ancient ritual of waiting. In the quiet ripple that finally signals its presence, the platypus reminds us of an older, deeper truth, one that our modern world often encourages us to forget. Life doesn't need to make sense to be sacred. It doesn't need to be useful, or practical, or easily explained. This creature, a mosaic of mammal and reptile and bird, defies our neat categories. It is a living paradox, a creature of wonder. Its value is not in what it does for us, but simply in that it only needs space to continue being itself. It asks for nothing more than clean water, stable banks to burrow in, and the quiet solitude that allows its subtle senses to navigate the world. It asks for a river that is healthy enough to support the life it feeds on, and a world that is quiet enough for it to hear the faint electrical whispers of its prey. And maybe, in learning to protect such fragile wonders, we are also learning how to survive, together. By restoring its habitat, by cleaning its waters, by quieting our impact, we are not just saving a species. We are rediscovering our own capacity for stewardship, for gentleness, for harmony. We are learning to listen again, to the river, to the land, and to the quiet, vital truth that our own survival is inextricably linked to the health of the world we inhabit. In protecting the platypus, we protect a part of ourselves, the part that understands the sacredness of life and the quiet grace of simply belonging.